Hi guys, welcome to another podcast with Hannah and Pagan. I'm Pagan. This is Hannah.
Hi.
We're going to be talking about podcasting in general, just because it's had such a huge growth recently. We thought we should definitely cover it as one of our podcasts, just because it's such a crucial part of the online space at the moment. Hannah, would you like to just tell us a little bit about what you know?
Yes, I would. So, apparently 17% of people in Australia have listened to a podcast in the last month. That doesn't sound like a lot, but if you think about how many people can, read newspapers and, so not, little kids and not really old people would be listening to podcasts, that would be a substantial amount of, the engaged population, I reckon.
Absolutely. That's literally nearly 1/5 of our population.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy.
That's pretty big.
17% doesn't sound huge, because you always get these statistics.
Almost 1/5 sounds better.
That is 1 in 5. That's nearly 1 in 5.
We should amend to almost 1 in 5.
Yeah, exactly. No, that is, I think that's pretty huge.
So, I have a theory about journalism.
Yes.
So, I reckon we've gone from online journalism, print and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've gone from newspapers dying out completely to online stuff on iPhones and tablets and now to podcasts. So it's progressively less effort to engage with the material and more flexible, on the go and stuff.
Do you think it's because the society's dumber and they're just eating up whatever we produce?
Probably. And reading so hard.
Reading is too hard.
Yeah, so I feel I don't know. It's the next thing, with because we're a society that likes to multitask and we like to have information and things to us as quickly as possible and as easily as possible. So I feel this is sort of where journalism is sitting for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I tend to agree with you there, but you think about it, we are a society who's always on the run now. We're always busy, and can you please tell me I don't know about you, but when was the last time you sat down with a newspaper or sat down to do something for 10 minutes? Do you know what I mean? I don't have time to sit down and read a newspaper anymore.
I don't know about you, but if I'm doing an assignment, I always have another screen up or something else on the side. Yeah.
Or you think about newspapers, who has the time to go buy a newspaper?
Yeah.
That's maybe half an hour taken out of someone's day. That's ridiculous, unless you get free newspapers.
Which also kills me because there's so much time put into writing a newspaper and editing it.
So sad. But also trees.
That's true. That's
true.
very true.
Yeah, so I think definitely we're seeing it's definitely on the rise, 17% now, but it's so growing.
And about anything, that's what we were looking at the different types of podcasts, and there's crime podcasting, Game of Thrones, history podcasting, that's a thing.
Yeah, bit dorky.
Very dorky.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm sure everyone, well, most people who are Game of Thrones fans or podcast fans have heard of Binge Mode. It's that podcast, about that literally can last longer than a Game of Thrones episode. Yeah. That just blows my mind in itself.
And that they're one of the most popular podcasts of 2017.
Yeah. Even now, it's definitely going to be up there.
I think you can be as niche as you want.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Get a bigger following. Yeah.
Exactly. And, we were talking before about how the difference between radio and podcasts.
Yeah.
And, radio, you can't have these
to quote
niche...
Pagan, is there a difference?
Yeah, well, it's a bit weird. It's it's if you think about it, you just record what happens on the radio. Yeah. And you could call it a podcast. I don't know.
No, for sure.
Yeah, and it's...
They call them radio podcasts or something.
Yeah, exactly. But, radio, there's no space to talk about Game of Thrones for hours. So
I don't think it's as research. I think it's more conversational commentary than it is here's an elaborate research project into the abduction of this girl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the history of the kingdoms in Game of Thrones. It's just, also we're talking about something that's way more accessible for people. So you think about it, again, going back to the busy sort of lifestyle lots of people live
that
now.
The news is trying to fit around.
Yeah. And we're trying to move around that, but some people get the 20-minute car drive, they have to work every day, and that that can be the perfect time for a 20-minute podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Playing it in your car, listening to it before bed, listening to it while you're cooking dinner. You know, you might not have the TV on anymore. You might be listening to your podcast, which is creates a new space that we're kind of still working out.
I guess I like it though, because I feel like a 20-minute podcast would be maybe more informative and make you more engaged than 20 minutes of radio. Yeah. Or you know what I mean? I think I like that idea, unless it's not a great quality podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't have to sit through, depending on which station that you listen to, you don't have to sit through ads. You don't have to, sit through callers calling up and talking and being a little bit annoying,
Also interesting though, lots of podcasts are free.
Yeah.
When you're talking about costs and ads and stuff.
Right.
I love that.
And we were just saying before, you wouldn't have to buy a TV.
No, I don't think I would.
No, yeah, we had a discussion about this. Do we really need TVs anymore? I thought I initially did, but then after some consideration, I just watch Netflix on my TV.
It's just a big laptop.
It is a big laptop. It is actually just a big laptop. I don't use it for anything else. I don't have your normal channels, and if I want to watch The Bachelorette or something, I watch it on my laptop.
Or if I want to stream Q&A or something like that. Yeah.
And that's even better for podcasts, where we're using a space that, it's changing, and we're utilizing that, which I think is really, really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I also love how it sort of goes along with this whole changing front of journalism, how the professional, really formal journalist has really been lessened a lot. So you've gone from having satire shows like John Oliver or last week The Weekly that are still news and researched and informative, but they're presented in a way that really breaks the fourth wall, and they're satirical and they're self-aware and all of that. And now
much more entertaining.
Yeah.
Shout out to John Oliver. We love you.
He's listening to this.
We love you
so much. But you look at how, I don't know, podcasting is so much about the person in it. You have to be charismatic and invested and make people want to listen to an extent.
Absolutely.
Journalists are becoming more and more embedded into their products, especially online, where
they have to create this. They really have to market themselves and become a personality.
Because
you have to become branded.
There's so much digital stuff you can read and YouTube channels that you can watch. You have to make people want to engage with you.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're a podcaster, you can't express your personality through
you can't
anything.
Dress nice.
You can't have your you can't have cool hair or anything. It's literally about what you're saying. You have to be that engaging, which kind of I think is a skill in itself.
Yeah,
but
sure. And you can't just be a good journalist.
No, you can't. Yeah. You have to be incredibly engaging for people to listen to you for 8 minutes or, even longer or, hours, some of these Game of Thrones podcasts.
Oh my goodness.
Imagine how charismatic that person has to be. It's very,
We're just
very
really into Game of Thrones.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
So where from here are you going to be on the podcast?
Yeah, well,
trend?
I don't know. See, I think that we're going to stop at podcast. It's we're on a big journey to the future, and we're at one stop. Right now we're at the podcast stop.
It's just a short.
We started at big newspapers and we went to littler newspapers and then we went to computers and then we went to phones, and now we're at podcasts. But, what I really think is next is maybe, our wearables. I have an Apple Watch and I access the news on my Apple Watch, and
she just showed me it's really cool.
I changed my life. It's a great little gadget, but podcasts are definitely on the rise right now, but it's in a way it's just seeing where it'll go. I'm not convinced personally that we'll stay on the podcast trend for a huge amount of time. I mean, I think it'll get hugely popular, but I don't think it'll be anything as iconic as the newspaper.
No, for sure.
Be interesting to see where wearables go there. Will we stop at a watch or will we now have
what can you do after a watch?
Maybe an Apple necklace, or I don't know, maybe we could have glasses that you could switch the screen and up with pop up these, I don't know, news stories.
Hipster glasses are a thing.
Yeah.
That's where Google went wrong. They didn't make them like
Yes.
hipster glasses.
Yes, exactly. No, so I love podcasts to an extent, but I mean, you have to be good at it. You have to.
Yeah. Just because you can
very
record
engaging.
one doesn't mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
Does not mean you should. Yeah, no.
Sure.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where that goes. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where things go. And
I definitely think though, like regardless of what it's going to be like in the future, they're here for now. And I think
they're here for now.
at
We need
least
to work
for the next
with them.
few years, like especially if you want to get paid as journalists,
Yeah,
like it's
need
important
to
for us to
get on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, better practice up on our podcast then. Awesome.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.